Of the time I have heard this, parents tell I don't have enough money so I cannot take it now. So related money also we tell them different stories. So is it really necessary to tell our child about past painful experiences?
See, the pain should be shared, but painfulness, the feeling should not be shared.
Okay. Is there any career opportunity as a storyteller?
Today's storyteller is in great demand. Right from 90s, Nike company used to hire a storyteller in their
Dear parents, I'm Shubhada Bhave, teacher, trainer, entrepreneur and parent. Welcome you on this channel Kids Intelligence. So we all know kids love stories. But loving story is one side of the story, and the other side of the story is that these stories we tell our kids, stories we discuss, stories we create in our life, these stories create major impact on our children's life, on our kids' life, on their brain, on their thinking pattern and on their beliefs. The stories which we share with them actually create their life. And if you are not aware of this other side of the story, then you are here on right channel and you are watching right video. So today we are going to discuss about how the storytelling create our kids' life, create their thought process, how these stories impact on their life. I'm going to introduce you with the international storyteller, master trainer of storytelling, Miss Urmila Prabhuji. So let us invite and start discussion with great storyteller Urmila Prabhuji. We would like to know about your childhood.
I'm born in a typical middle class Indian family where we believed in joint family. We had our grandparents, uncles, aunts' children, uncles' children, and our house was called as kind of a dharamshala or a guest house where people would come and go. They would carry with them, each one of them would carry with them a story. They would share story. And my grandmother, that's my paternal side, dad's mom, was a brilliant storyteller. Yes, as we would go retire for the day, she would come up with the day's story. She would come up with folk tale. She would come up with her story of her childhood. Her childhood was extremely interesting for us because it was without the electricity, without any modern facility. But she would put all these unrelated, distorted facts into a compact, hearable, interesting, arresting story.
Great.
We would really get lost in her childhood.
Great. So there you got inspiration to become storyteller.
Yeah.
With that note, we would also like to know that defining event where you felt to start your career or where you become a storyteller.
So, Shubhada, it's a very interesting question you asked. I carried my grandmother's story, even my mother's story with me throughout my life. Whenever something would not go according to my will, my thought process, my planning, I would take the rescue of the story. Because I would like to entertain myself and I would like to entertain my guests and my listeners. I was a school teacher for 18 years. Yeah. As the students would pass out school and they would meet me after the schooling, none of them remembered my concepts, my teachings. But not a single student, not a single child forgot the story I shared while teaching those concepts and those topics and those subjects. This proved to me that story sticks to the human mind.
Excellent. Stories stick to the human mind. Yes, and that was a turning point.
Yes.
Great. As you said, for 18 years you were in this teaching field.
Yeah.
And there you shared lot of stories. So students don't remember actually concepts, they remember the stories because that stick to the mind.
Yes.
With this note, I would also like to understand how we as a parent and as a teacher can use this wonderful skill, or we can say this is wonderful tool, storytelling.
Yeah.
So how we can use this tool?
See, let me tell you why does a story stick to a human mind. Human beings are emotional creatures.
Yes.
Human mind is an emotional wonder of a human body. We are not a logic processor. Even though it's been defined that a man is a rational being, man is a logical being, according to me, it is zilch. Man is an emotional being. Man is an irrational being. Man is a bundle of feelings.
Wonderful.
Yeah, bundle of happiness, sadness, remorseness, and all these things, if used effectively in your daily circumstances, in your daily transaction, you become a successful human being. If you are a successful human being, you are a successful mother, you are a successful sister, you are a successful wife, you are a successful teacher, you are a successful friend. Whatever you are, you become successful. Now coming to your specific question, like how can we use storytelling as a tool in teaching learning process? For example, now let me tell you, we need to teach about history.
Okay.
We need to teach about the historians conquering forts, historians conquering battlefields, historians conquering kingdoms, historians expanding their kingdom. If you talk about all these things, I tell you, Rudyard Kipling has said, if history is taught through stories, it will never be repeated ever again. In the same way, if we put these stories into just not history, but across all the disciplines of the school subjects, we will never forget, because along with the data comes the emotions. Now tell me, if you take a case of a child, ask him the score of every test cricket played by Sachin Tendulkar. Without fail, he will tell the name of the test, the name of the tournament, the score of every test played by Sachin tournament. But ask the same child the multiplication table of 6 by 7. He may break his head, but he will not come to the answer, the right answer. Why? Because his interest lies in cricket, whereas there is no interest in math, for example. But if you add emotion to the subject math, by default, interest will follow the emotion, because wherever there is emotion, interest is present. Therefore, it is said, if you dislike a teacher, you hate the subject, whereas you like the teacher, you love the subject. This is the game of emotions, Shubhada.
Excellent, excellent. You said when we add emotion, the interest follow
Follows.
that emotion. Excellent. So while telling stories, or while dealing with any child or dealing with any particular issue, we can use the storytelling, but with the mix of the emotion. Is it?
Yes.
Am I right?
Absolutely, Shubhada. Because it is the emotion, because all of us are emotional beings, as I said earlier. If you are really sensitive to others, because again, storytelling is a tool whereby we just don't teach subjects. Storytelling is a tool whereby we create human beings. We create a wholesome, healthy, holistic beings, which is just not a gift to oneself, to the school, to the parents, but that particular holistic human being is a gift to the mankind, to the humankind, a blessing to the entire planet.
So we can say this story is told with lot of emotional content that creates students to become interested in that subject. Is it?
Absolutely, absolutely. You hit the nail, Shubhada. It really indeed, with storytelling, I tell you, a teacher becomes a favorite teacher. Now tell me, who doesn't want to be a favorite teacher?
Absolutely,
Shubhada? Everyone wants to be a favorite teacher. Because with storytelling, what happens is you carry students with you.
In that imagination world.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, when you carry students with you, what happens is the major problem that every teacher grumbles that my class doesn't listen to me, my class is a naughty child, my class has discipline problem. Even parents say, ये तो मेरा सुनता ही नहीं है. All these problems by default gets rectified. It gets streamlined.
So we can say this storytelling is like a medicine for a lot of parenting and teaching issues. Is it?
Yes, it's a panache. It's, as we say, it's a verdict. It is Rambaan Upay.
Rambaan Upay. Excellent. So we all understand that kids love stories, but why exactly they love stories? And through this interest in story, we can actually enter into their mind. Is it? Am I right that we can enter into their mind?
Yeah. It is said that stories change the settings of the brain.
Oh, excellent.
Absolutely. People say either your right brain or your left brain. Yes, but story induces and excites the whole brain at the same time. So you're catering to your right brain as well as your left, as well as the left brain. This means you're logical, your rational, your thinking side is activated along with your creative, emotional, innovative side of the brain. Imagine, this is just by default this has been done.
Yes, so I remember when I was into your session of storytelling. So I entered late in that classroom and I sat in that first row. And as I was listening to you, I was into that imagination. So indirectly, my brain starts imagination.
Yeah.
So that exercise also very helpful for our mind and brain.
Yeah. I'll tell a small story on this. Okay, there was a parent who went to Albert Einstein, the master, the great scientist, and she said, "Sir, I want my child to be as intelligent, as creative, as smart as you, sir." Yeah, so Albert Einstein looked at her and said, "Oh dear young mother, go and tell him fairy tales." So mother, being a mother, mothers are always selfish. They want their best to their children. So she was not happy with the answer. So she looked at Albert Einstein and she asked a second question. "So, in case if I want my child to be more intelligent than you?" So Albert Einstein gave a smile and he said, "Yes, you ambitious mother, go and tell him more fairy tales."
Oh.
This has proved, this is a person who at his time was having the highest IQ on this planet. If he endorses that fairy tales, that is stories, really activate right and left side, means it is a proven fact.
So as a selfish mother, if I want my kid to be the best, so I want to tell her or him the stories. So I can tell stories
Absolutely.
And I can start to telling stories from any age.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is no age bar. Even at this age, I just enjoy listening to the great storytellers.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
excellent, excellent. So stories has that much power.
Absolutely, it has power.
With that power of stories, does it create their future?
Absolutely. My God, you wouldn't have asked me a better question, Shubhada. Here again, I will give you two instances of real life. Everyone, at least in Maharashtra or in India, we can say everyone has heard of Shivaji Maharaj.
Yes.
Yeah. What Shivaji today is only because of his mother's storytelling. For the benefit of the viewers who do not know about the background of India, during Shivaji's time, that was in 16th and 17th century, India was ruled by Mughals. Shivaji's mother, Jijabai, was a very proud mother, a proud Indian, a proud Maratha. She had an excellent, brave husband, but at the same time she was very sad, disheartened, because being a very, very brave person, a brave human being, a self-righteous human being, all the time she would say, my husband had to do Manacha Muzra to someone who is come from outside. Even though my husband is so very brave, righteous person, he cannot live in his own motherland with the head raised high. So she said, this should come to an end somewhere. So she said, I will see to it that my child, that time she was carrying, she did not know girl or a boy, but she knew only one thing, irrespective of my child, whether girl or a boy, my child will liberate Marathas from the Mughal rule. So when she was carrying the child, she would read epics after epics, that is Ramayana and Mahabharata, and every time she would tell to herself that the child I am carrying will be instrumental in liberating India from the Mughal rule. For this we say is Garbha Samskar. The storytelling when a mother is carrying, when she is Garbhavasi, is equally important.
Oh.
Yes, yes. It affects the child that she is carrying. So this Shivaji's mother, Jijabai, has proved. When the child was born, even though we had Marathas had no resources, financial resources, resources in artillery, resources in infantry, resources in warfare, they had no resources, but she had the belief that by telling the stories of a great motherland of Ramayana and Mahabharata, my child will indeed be instrumental, we will be a torch bearer to liberate. And indeed, this happened, Shubhada. It happened. The history says he was the first Indian to establish Hindvi Swaraj, to defeat the mighty power, the mighty ruler, Mughal ruler, Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb couldn't believe that he had to accept that he has been defeated by what he called Shivaji Raje as the mountain rat. That was the only regret Aurangzeb had when he was on the deathbed, that he conquered whole of India but not Maharashtra. This is the power of storytelling.
Yes, yes, true. So through storytelling, we can actually, parent and teacher can actually create that belief. They can create that mindset. They can put the thoughts. So we have Brahmastra.
Yes,
we have
Brahmastra
Brahmastra
with us.
and as a parent and as a teacher, we must use storytelling at each and every point. Is it? Am I right?
Yeah. So wherever you can, life throws us challenges. At every challenge, you have to use it as an opportunity to create story and to connect with others.
I have also seen, as I meet many parents and students, teachers, I have also seen that stories imparted in wrong way that also create a bad, not exactly bad impact, but that also create disturbances in life. If stories are this much powerful, then as a parent and as a teacher, do we also need to be cautious while telling stories?
Absolutely. Because what is story? Story is connection. What is story? Story is linking. What is story? Story is an influential tool. You say every great leader, social reformer, political leader, religious leader in any form is an influential person, because leaders influence the minds of the people. In the same way, if you use this tool, storytelling tool, and use it in a wrong way, here also, Shubhda, I can give you an example of Hitler. How he used the story to brainwash the entire nation. He made every German believe that Jews are the curse, not just to the German society, but to the entire mankind, to the human society.
So storytelling is very powerful tool in our hand, and we have to use it very, very, very carefully. So Urmila ji, here we would like to understand how exactly we can use storytelling, or can you give us few tips while using storytelling or while telling stories that we parent and teacher can use at home while dealing with your children?
Yeah, absolutely. See, stories are based on 4 pillars.
Okay.
First pillar is the belief. Second pillar is the love.
Okay.
Third pillar is the hope. Fourth pillar is the truth.
Okay. Belief, love, hope and truth.
Yes.
Okay.
So these are the 4 pillars of any story. So if the belief of a teacher, of a parent, of a leader is wrong,
Okay.
the entire story that it has stood crumbles like a pack of cards. So your belief system should be right. And belief system follows the love. Love is an emotion that recognizes no difference. Whether one is poor or rich, one is fat or thin, one is beautiful or not beautiful, everything is immaterial, irrelevant if you love a person. Like for every child, his or her mother is the most beautiful woman in this world. Why? That kind of love. If you have love, yes, you instantly connect with your audience. If you love, yes, listeners are drawn to you. Then you become a pull factor, not the push factor. So love is very important while telling a story. Third is truth. Truth is so important because a story can reach only this far if it is based on the falsehood. But if the story is rooted in the truth, why do you think till today we respect Mahatma Gandhi or Nelson Mandela? Because every act done by Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela is rooted in truth. You may agree or you may disagree, but you cannot dispute that it is not based on truth. Truth has that kind of far-reaching power. So every story should be based on truth. Because with truth, you as a parent will be remembered forever by your child. You as a teacher will be cherished by every student of yours. So always see to it that your story is rooted in the truth. Then last one is hope. As it is said in Hindi, उम्मीद पे दुनिया कायम है. So it is the hope. Hope gives a far-reaching effect in story. You may have nothing today, but if you have hope, and if your story is hopeful, hope generating, hope igniting, that's how the story will also give a far-reaching effect for every student, for every child, for every listener. So it is that important. So 4 pillars, my friend. First is belief, second is love, third is truth, and fourth is hope.
Based on these 4 pillars, if we tell story, then it is more powerful.
Yes.
Okay. So what are the things we should avoid in the storytelling?
As a parent, as a teacher, as a human beings, we all have certain likes, certain dislikes. We have prejudices, we have biases, we have love, we have partiality.
Oh.
But while telling stories, all these personal preferences should be out of the window.
Wow, excellent. So without any judgments, without any pre-beliefs,
Yes.
pre-assumptions,
Yes, yes, yes.
we must
You
be...
must absolutely. You should tell story as it is, because story is communication. Story is connection. Story is the link between you and your audience, the listener. It is said that the distance between 2 people is a story.
Okay.
So if you use a story, you come closer. So use all these plus adjectives, metaphors, personification, onomatopoeia. Use all these things, figurative languages, to tell your concepts, to tell your topics, to convey your ideas, your thoughts, but without coloring them. This is very important. Don't let your personality enter into it.
Excellent.
Give an outer edge to the story. Because story is bigger than you and me.
So as you said, don't let your personality enter into that story. I'll share my story here. My parents, especially my father, I'm a very papa's girl. So my father used to tell me story when I was near about 5 years old. How he fell down from cycle and how he got injured, and that is why he stopped riding cycle, or just be careful while riding cycle. So with that story, indirectly I picked up few fears. I picked up few such beliefs that riding cycle is going to injure me. So it's better not to ride cycle. And that fear is still operating on me. That fear is still working in my mind. So in such a way, we as a parent, or our parents, or we as a parent teacher, we also pour different fears in our child. So how to deal with that?
Yeah, see, children are like sponge. They are clay. We do not know how our message will be interpreted by the children. So unknowingly, inadvertently, by sharing a story, we transmit the fear into them.
Exactly, as my father was not willing me to stop riding bicycle. it was not his intention, but me as a child took that belief, took that fear out of that story.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So therefore, as parents, we have to be very careful while sharing our unpleasant experiences. What are the things I need to highlight?
Ah.
So your father may be wanting to tell you is, Shubhada, be careful while riding the bicycle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He didn't know how to put his ideas across to you in a positive way. So, in order to save you from further hurts, he put it in a way, I fell down, I got hurt, maybe I'm not a good cycle rider today. So, beta, you better be careful and ride. He did not share this in a positive way. And that was very innocent of him. So now, since we know this, we have to change our negative experiences into positive. And while telling the story, share the negative experience into a positive story, so that message that you want to put across to your child is taken in the same spirit. Many of us have phobias.
Yes.
We call it irrational phobias, and we don't know from where these irrational phobias have come up. Only when you go back to your childhood and you think, you remember certain instances, and that time it strikes that yes, my parents used to tell us, share stories which were not very positively affected on the child, which does not have positive reinforcement on the child, because all of us want positive reinforcement. What is discipline? Discipline is positive reinforcement. And how can positive reinforcement come in? Positive reinforcement will come in if and only if a parent, an elder, the society in general share all the good things that is done by them and share negative things also in a positive way. That is very important.
Yes. So parents can tell their stories, negative experiences, but in a positive way.
Encouraging ways.
Yes. With the fourth pillar, hope.
Hope, keeping the fourth pillar in mind, that आखिर उम्मीद पे दुनिया कायम है.
Yes. So as a storyteller, what will be your tip or what will be your suggestion for parents and teachers?
The tips is, today's youth, today's children are very far away from the reality. Why? Because they are fed on social media. We have even found out, few months ago, when I was reading a newspaper, I read a 14-year-old boy committed suicide only because his mother disallowed him to use PUBG.
PUBG game.
Yes. Why do you think, my dear listeners, children are so very attracted to all the social devices and far away from their near and dear ones? Because we are not as attractive as the social media. And why do you think we are not as attractive as social media? Because social media is very addictive, whereas we are sadly not addictive. And why are we not sadly addictive? Because we do not have enough interesting stories to hold them. So the first tip is, we as adults, we as teacher or parent or anyone, as a leader, we as adults should have interesting experiences. And how can we generate these experiences? My dear listeners, every experience is an interesting experience. Every experience is a teacher. It teaches us a lot of things. Only thing is, we have to be sensitive to it. We need to pick up the finer points and relate to our children with lot of excitement. Children are a bundle of energy. very high level energy. They need to be occupied 24/7 when they are around with us. If we tell them stories, if we give them activities based on the stories, if we make them share their stories, in storytelling, listening plays an important point. So dear parents and teachers, be a brilliant listener. Listen to your children so that children will come to you, just not during their happy times, but during their sad times, during their difficult times. And that is when you need to be there for your children throughout. Whenever they need you, you need to be there. You should be there within their vision and hearing range. May not be at that time, but they should know that my parent, my teacher is with me. So whenever I need, I have their back, their shoulder. It is very important.
Wow, as you said, today's youth is very attracted towards social media because as a parent and teachers, we do not have enough stories, or we can say we don't have that khazana of stories.
Yeah.
So we need to be ready with khazana of stories. Am I right?
Right, absolutely right.
We need to be ready with khazana of stories so that we can also break that one negative side or the addiction towards social media and addiction in their virtual life. So the stories from us can hold them back. Here I would also like to understand, parents tell that I don't have enough money, so I cannot take it now, I cannot purchase this particular thing now.
Yeah.
So related money also,
Yeah.
we tell them different stories, how our childhood was very painful. You have got so many things now, but we were living in painful situation. We couldn't get this immediately at the time as we wanted. So is it really necessary to tell child about past painful experiences?
See, the pain should be shared, but painfulness, the feeling should not be shared.
Okay.
Only the story should be shared in a very positive way. For example, the same thing, maybe my experience of money was not very pleasant. Why? Because my father had a life of poverty. So I carried the poverty in my mind. Today I may not be living in poverty, but I am having the mindset of poverty. So what I am indirectly, inadvertently passing on to my child is the mindset of poverty, not the mindset of abundance. So as I said, the fourth pillar is hope. So what we have to generate in our children is the eternal spring of hope, not eternal spring of poverty.
Yes, I think every parent will relate this, how our money beliefs are creating the aspect, every aspect of our life. We have different, we hold different beliefs, and those beliefs are created through stories we heard, experienced in our childhood.
Absolutely.
Through our parents and teachers.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
So we really need to, that is the first pillar of 4 pillars, is the belief system. You get your belief system correct.
One more interesting question I would like to ask you here. How we can help our children to become storyteller, great storyteller.
Okay.
Again, great storyteller.
Yeah, see, I tell you, children are born storytellers.
Oh,
Yes. They know exactly what story to tell to her or his mother, what story to tell to her or his father, what story to tell his or her grandparent, that is grandmother or grandfather.
and teachers also.
And teachers, absolutely. Absolutely.
Why I couldn't do my homework?
Absolutely.
Because I had these things, that things. So they make stories,
They
right?
make brilliant stories. But what happens is, we don't encourage them.
Ah.
Why? Because we as parents and teachers have no time to listen to their stories. We don't give them opportunity by asking a simple question. Why? How? How did it happen? Why did it happen? Where did it happen? And what did you learn? We have no time. We are absolutely in rat race. Come on, quickly. We look at the time and we say, wrap up, finish off. And slowly, the enthusiasm reduces. Slowly, their happiness decreases. Slowly, the interest wanes off. And sadly, the vocabulary shrinks.
Okay.
Yes, because they don't have a large vocabulary, large bank of words. They are not effective storytellers, and it is not their fault, it is our fault. We don't give them enough opportunity to talk, to speak. So how will they build their vocabulary?
Excellent.
So give them opportunities to talk, to speak. Be there. Listen to their so-called nonsense story according to you. But every nonsense story is a story of high value to every child. So listen to their value. Listen to their important incidences of life. And be there. Enjoy. Be a part of the story. It's brilliant to be a part of this story.
Excellent. So today I learned one thing as a parent, as a teacher. I'm going to create the khazana of story. I'm going to listen to my student, to my child, each and every one. And I'm going to ask them questions. Why, how, when, what. And I'm going to help children to become great storyteller. With this note, I would also like to ask one more question. Out of curiosity, is there any career opportunity as a storyteller? Can our child build career as a storyteller?
Absolutely. Shubhada, very much. Today's storyteller is in great demand. It is said that right from 90s, Nike company used to hire a storyteller in their because every product is not sold as a product. Every product is sold as a story. So Nike company on the payroll has chief storytelling officer. Google and all multinational companies have storytellers. They have chief storyteller officer, CSOs in their company, because in order to sell a product, in order to sell a story, first you need to create market for it. And how do you create a market for your product is only by creating a story for the product, for your service. So by creating a market for your products, for your services, you create them through the stories. So storyteller is in great demand.
So many aspects of storytelling. I was only aware of this thing that I should tell story to my kids, bedtime stories and all. But storytelling has this different aspects, so we can help our child to build career as a storyteller.
Absolutely.
Great. Do you conduct any workshops or programs for students or parents on storytelling? So if someone is more interested in storytelling, to learn all aspects of storytelling, so can we train our students properly in storytelling?
Yes, Shubhda, you're absolutely right. I conduct storytelling workshops on a regular basis. You can follow me on my Facebook page, that is Storyteller Urmila Prabhu, or on my Insta page Urmila_Prabhu.
Okay, great. So I think today we got a lot of idea, a lot of understanding about storytelling, and now we can use this storytelling powerful tool very consciously. Maybe after watching this video you will not be expert in storytelling, but at least we can take this first step of being aware while telling stories. And behalf of all viewers, I thank you from bottom of my heart, and thank you for being here. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure, Shubhda. It's always a pleasure to be with Shubhda.
Thank
a
you.
bubbly force.
Thank you so much. So parents, if you learned something from this video, do let me know in comment box and stay tuned for more learnings, more stories. Thank you. This is Shubhada Bhave, teacher, trainer, entrepreneur and parent.